Good day, everyone, and welcome to our first online class. Our subject for today is Science and Technology. Again, it's Science and Technology. It's technology. Before we proceed, let me introduce first my name. I am Teacher Romeo V. Melton Jr. Romeo is my first name, V is my middle initial, Melton is my last name, and Jr. is the suffix. So you can call me Teacher Romeo. Okay? You can call me Teacher Romeo. Before we proceed for our topic today, let me discuss to you this following vocabulary which will help you understand further with the different definition or to our topic for today. I know most of you are not familiar or might be uncommon for you to identify these words. So today, we will going to have these 10 words in order for you to help and will make you understand better to our lesson for today. First, we have cell. So I would like you to repeat after me. Cell. Cell. Next, we have plants. Plants. Next, we have animals. Animals. The fourth one, we have different. Different. Next, we have the same. I forgot to put an E here. Okay, it's S-A-M-E, and it is you're going to read this as the same. Okay? Next is we have job. Job. Next, common. Common. Parts. Parts. All. All. Both. Both. So each of the vocabulary presented here, or each of the words you're seeing right now, has its own translation so that it would be easy for you to really understand the meaning of each of the words presented. Okay, I'm going to encircle each of the Thai translation of each words. Okay. I'm using the yellow one to highlight the translation. So, again, you need to be familiar of these words because this will help you identify or define each of the words we will going to use or the meaning later on in our topic. Okay, so we're done with our vocabulary. Now, our topic for today is all about understanding cell. What is cell all about? What is this cell? Is this helpful? What is the function of this cell? So later on, we will know what is cell since our topic for today is all about understanding cell. And we have again the Thai translation of this one. Okay. How are plant and animal cells different? How are plant and animal cells different? Or are they really different from each other? Nor are they the same? We will try to find out this one later. So our objectives for today, or rather objectives for today, first is we have to compare the parts of the plant cells and animal cells. Again, we need to compare. When we say we need to compare, as what I've said earlier, Are they different or are they the same? Okay. Next, the second one is to know the function. Know the function. Function, or in other words, we can say it job or the work of a certain parts of the cell. Know the function of some part or some important part inside the cell and how do they play. Next, so since it is understanding cell, let us know what is really a cell is. So a cell is the smallest unit of living organism. Okay. When we talk about living organism, it talks about life. When we say living, it has life. Okay? So, smallest unit of living organism that is capable of performing life functions, meaning it performs a vital role to our life. Without this one, we will be die. Okay? Next, second, we have cells. Cells can only be observed under microscope. In other words, we can only see cells using microscope. Maybe many of you knows already what is a microscope, but certainly there were some who are not. So this is an example of our microscope. Okay. As we go on to our topic about cell, we will also be tackling about microscope. Who invented the microscope? How important microscope is? What is a microscope? What are the parts of the microscope? And then we will also be knowing what are the functions of each part of the microscope. Likewise, how to use or manipulate this microscope. The third one we have all living things, as what I've said earlier, living things involving life. Meaning, when we say living, they have life. When it's non-living, when it's like this, let me write it here on the side so that you will be informed about this one. Wait a minute. It takes a long time for me to do it. Okay. This one, living thing. I'm going to encircle this one. Living thing, there is life. When we say non-living thing, do not be confused between these two. Non-living thing, meaning it hasn't life. There's no life in it. Okay, all living things. Let's go back with a cell. All living things, including plants and animals, are made up of cells. So plants and animals are made up of cells. Moving on, are plant and animal cells the same or different? Are they really the same or are they really different? Let's try to find out. So in your screen, you can see there a simple animal cells and a simple plant cell. On your left, you can see an animal cell, and on your right is a plant cell. Now, if you try to compare between the two, a plant cell is quite bigger than the animal cell. And let's move on to different parts of animal cells and plant cell. Okay, again, this side, this one is your animal cell. Animal cell. And this one is the translation if what is this in Thai. This one is your plant cell. On your right is your plant cell. This is also the Thai translation of it. If you notice, there were a line connecting from the animal cell to the plant cell. These lines connecting between the two, that means that each of these parts are also present to the other part, meaning the cell membrane, this one is your cell membrane, yeah, this line. Okay, they are connected also to the cell from the plant cell. This one. This line as well is what we call cell membrane. Okay, this is what we call cell membrane. Again, it's cell membrane. Cell membrane. This one is your cell membrane, and later on we will try to find out what are the definitions and the functions of each of the parts of the cells. Now this one is cell membrane. This one is your cell membrane, and this one also is cell membrane. Next, moving on, let's have this mitochondrion. This is your mitochondrion, and this is your mitochondrion in your plant cell. This one, mitochondrion in your animal cell, and this one is mitochondrion in your plant cells. Okay, that means animal cell and plant cell have its own mitochondria. Okay, moving on the third parts of each of the cells. This one are what we called nucleus. Nucleus. Now it's nucleus or nucleus. Now this one is our nucleus. Okay? Since there are a line connecting between the two cells, that means that they are also present to both. Both animal cell and plant cell has its own nucleus. Okay, moving on, the fourth one, we have cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm is this one, the dots you can see, small dots, yeah? Some of the dots you can't see by your naked eye. Here, the same on your plant cell. So these are what we call cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. Next, let's move on to your vacuole. Vacuole in your animal cell is smaller, while in the vacuole in your plant cell is large or bigger. It's bigger or larger than the vacuole you can find in your animal cell. This one is small, big, small, and big. So these 5 parts are parts of the animal cells and plant cells which you can see both in the animal cell and plant cell. Whereas there are 2 parts of the plant cells which you cannot find in animal cell. We have the cell wall. The cell wall is the first line before the cell membrane. So this is cell wall. Okay, with this one, this is what we call chloroplast. Chloroplast. So these 2 are the parts of the plant cell which you cannot find in animal cell. So all in all, in simple animal cells, we have 5 parts. We have 5 parts. And all of these parts also, you can find it in our plant cells. Okay, 5 parts. Here we have 7 parts. Okay, we have 7 parts here. 7 parts. All these 7 parts, we have 5 parts you can find also in animal cell, and we have 2 parts here, cell wall and chloroplast, which you can find only in plant cells. Okay, I hope you understand all about this diagram, the simple animal cells and our simple plant cells. It's very easy to understand actually. Again, this connecting line performing or means that the parts that you can see for both sides you can find for both sides. Okay? While this one, cell wall and chloroplast, you can find it only in our plant cells. Okay, moving on. Now this time we are going to discuss different functions and the definition of each of the parts of the cells. Let's start it on the parts that can only be seen in plant. Okay, plant cells. As what I've said, your chloroplast, this one, and your cell wall, this one, your cell wall, these are the two parts of the plant cell. Parts of the plant cell that you can't find in animal cell. Can't find in animal cell. Let's have first our chloroplast. This one, our chloroplast. Now we have here our Thai translation so that it would be easy for you to really understand and imbibe what I am trying to say. Now, the meaning of this chloroplast or the function as well, plant cells food factory. It's our plant cells food factory, meaning they get food from here. Next, it contains green pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, chlorophyll, these are green pigment which you can find in a plant. Okay, this is very useful when the plant is doing photosynthesis or they're making food. Okay, next let's have letter B, which is the cell wall. This one, cell wall. Cell wall are thick, stiff structure. Thick and stiff structure. These are the meaning, or this is the meaning in Thai. And it also help to support and give shape to the cells. Help to support and give shape to the cells. Okay, so once again, it's the chloroplast and the cell wall. Chloroplast, this one, and the cell wall, this one. Okay? Now let's proceed. So we are now down to the common parts. When we say common parts, that means you can see these parts to both of the plant cell and the animal cell. So first we have cytoplasm. First we have the cytoplasm. Okay, a cytoplasm is a jelly-like structure that fills the cell. It's a jelly-like structure that fills the cell. It is mostly water, but contains many important chemicals inside of it. And chemical reaction takes place inside the cell. It also stores dissolved material. Stores, meaning they keep dissolved material. Okay, again, it's a jelly-like structure that fills the cell. Mostly water, but contains many important chemicals. Chemical reaction takes place inside the cell. Stores dissolved material. Stores, meaning they keep dissolved material. So that is our cytoplasm. Again, let's read it again. Repeat after me. Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. Okay, moving on to our second common parts in job. We have our cell membrane. So both of the cells that we had presented a while ago has its own cell membrane. So this one is your cell membrane for your plant cell, and this one is your, this line, is our cell membrane. This one, if you still remember, this is your, what is this? This is your plant cell. Okay, this is your plant cell, simple plant cell, and this one is your simple animal cell. Just try to observe this one as what I have said earlier. The plant cell is quite bigger than the animal cell. Okay, moving on. So cell membrane and animal cells, thin outer covering. Thin. Okay, thin. And then outer, from the word out, just like outside. Outer covering. Now let's proceed. In plants, it is found inside the cell wall. Yes, this is your plant cell, and your cell membrane is inside the cell wall, because the outer part of your plant cell is your cell wall. And the next line after your cell wall is your cell membrane. That is for your plant. While in animal cell, the first line that covers the cytoplasm or encloses the cytoplasm is your cell membrane. Okay, so there is a quite different between the two. Again, in plant, this is the second line, while in animal cell, it's the first line that encloses both the cytoplasm. Okay, next is controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell. It controls the movement. Okay, your cell membranes plays a vital role in your in the cell, because it controls movement of the materials for both in. When we say in, just like inside, out, just like outside, in and out of the cells. Okay. If you can hardly understand what I am talking about, you can still browse and read of the Thai translation. Okay, this would be easy for you to really understand what I am talking about. So again, cell membrane. Again, let's all read this one. Cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane. Third one, we have mitochondrion. Mitochondrion. Okay, so on this side, what is this once again? Okay, you can say the answer. Again, this is, I will just write P, since it is a plant cell. And this one, what is this? I will write A, since it is an animal cell. Okay, so mitochondrion. Let's go back here. Mitochondrion. Okay, it works as the power plant of the cell. It works as the power plant of the cell. So this is the Thai translation. Food, in this part, the food is burned. The food is burned and to give to the cell energy. So during this part of your cell, the food is burned in order to give to the cell energy. Okay, so that is your mitochondrion or mitochondria. It's letter O. Dria. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. It's letter I. This one's letter I. Mitochondria. Okay. Moving on, we have, it's vacuole. It's two syllable. Vacuole. Everybody, vacuole. Vacuole. Okay. Now, what letter I'm going to write here? Since it is a plant cell, it's letter P. And this one is letter A. Okay. Now, what is the function or the job of your vacuole? Vacuole hold useful substances and waste. Hold useful substances and waste. It also supports the plant when it is full of water. So your vacuole supports the plant when it is full of water. It also holds useful substances and waste. So this one is your vacuole. Nucleus. Everybody, nucleus. 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 Okay. Now the function of your nucleus is to control all cellular activities. Cellular meaning this is the cell. Okay, in other words, this is your cell. Control cellular activities or your cell activities. It works, it controls the work of your cell. That's it. Okay. So those are the 5 common parts and job of the cells or parts of the cells for both plant and animal cells. Okay. Moving on, let's have similarities. Similarities meaning when we talk about similarities, they have the same function, or you can also say that in our lesson you can find both of them for both animal cell and the plant cell. So similarities between the plant cell and animal cells. Here is your Thai translation. Try to read this one. Maybe it can help you understand really what I am talking about. Firstly, we have both. Okay, if you still remember both, I had included this one in your set of vocabulary. That's why I told you to be familiarized, or you can memorize also the meaning of those words, because it is very useful, especially to this lesson. Okay, now both have a cell membrane surrounding the cytoplasm. As what I had discussed to you earlier, that both of the cells, plant cells and animal cells, has its own cell membrane that surrounds or encloses the cytoplasm. Next, secondly, we have both have nucleus. Both have nucleus. So again, the same as with cell membrane, you can also find nucleus to both plant cell and animal cell. Thirdly, we have both contain mitochondria. Okay, so both of this plant cell and animal cells, plant cell and animal cells has mitochondria. Okay, so these are the similarities between plant cells and animal cells. Now let's have the difference or the differences between plant cell. Different meaning they don't have the same characteristics. Okay, these are the things that plant cells and animal cells are not the same. So they are not the same to this one. So animal cells, as what also I have I told you just a while ago, this one, animal cells, is smaller. Okay, relatively smaller in size. If you notice, it's quite smaller than the plant cells. So while our plant cells is larger in size, meaning it's quite bigger. Okay, larger, bigger, it's almost the same. It has almost the same meaning. Next, round shape. Animal cells has a round shape. When you say round, another term for round is circle. Round shape. Okay, circle or round shape. Now in plant cell, it's box-like shape. It's a box-like shape. When we talk about box shape, it's just like square. Okay, box-like shape, it's just like square. Okay, now the other characteristic that they differ from each other no cell wall in your animal cells. They don't have, or animal cells have no cell wall. Okay, don't have cell wall, and plant cell have cell wall. Okay, they have cell wall present, or you can see cell wall in the plant cell. If you can see, just like we're going to draw like this example, this is your plant cell. So this one is your cell wall. This one is your cell wall. While on the second line is your cell membrane. This is your cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane. I can't write it anymore. It's difficult. Membrane. N-E. I don't know if you can still read that one. Okay, let's move on to your fourth one here. Vacuole. The vacuole in your plants, in your animal cell is smaller, small. And in your plant cell, the vacuole is larger or large. Okay, so once again, that is the difference between animal cell and plant cell. Okay, I hope you got it. So if you can see here, maybe you will be shocked. Teacher, why it's too many? Actually, I just put it here because it's more than like this if you try to study about cell, but we will not going to tackle this one. Later on, when you might be focused on science or biology, you might be discussing this one. Okay, it's more complicated. Now, let's review. Okay, let's just read this one. Everybody, cell, membrane. Okay, do it, please repeat after me. Okay, cell, membrane. Okay, this one. Cell, wall. Cell, wall. Next, we have chloroplast. Chloroplast. Next, chromosomes. Chromosomes. Next, nucleus. Nucleus. Next, mitochondria. Mitochondria. We have cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. Next, we have vacuoles. Vacuoles. And we have here plant, animal, cells. Okay, there you have it. We're almost done. Now, with this one, I want you to rewrite. When you say rewrite, meaning you need to copy this one in your notebook. Okay, but if you're lazy, it's up to you. What I need is the answer. Okay, rewrite and answer this in your notebook. Match the column with cell structure. This one is your cell structure. From the column with functions. So these are the functions. These are the different parts of the cells for both plant cell and animal cell, and these are their functions. Okay, now write the letter of your answer on the column provided before the number. Okay, we have here the different cell structure from the different cells, from the two cells. We have here nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane, cell wall, chloroplast, vacuole, and mitochondrion or mitochondria. These are now the functions. Now, try to see or try to identify which are the right functions of each cell structure. Just like nucleus, I'm going to give the nucleus, just like for example, if the answer is control the activities in the cell, or If you still remember, it controls the cellular activities. Control the activities in the cell. So you can write here the letter of which you think is the right answer. Okay, simple as that. So that is our first activity. And the second one we have here, draw and label. Actually, if you try to print this one, you have already the copy. But since most of you doesn't have or don't have your own printer at home or any other means, so what you need to do is to get your notebook and your pen and then draw this one. I think it's easy. It's quite easy to copy this one. And try to label. There are boxes there. Try to identify what is the name of the different parts of this cell presented to you. So draw and label the parts of this plant or the plant cell and animal cell. Just like an example. This one, what is this? What is this? The line. The line before the cytoplasm. So it's the, I'll give it as a bonus or free. Okay, this is your cell membrane. Okay, this is your cell membrane. Okay, now while on the plant cell, so that you need to identify rather the parts of the plant cell as well. So the same as in your animal cell, you can also find cell membrane in your plant cell. So I'm going to identify as well the cell membrane here. It's a bonus already to you. Okay. It's quite difficult to use this cursor in writing. I can barely write it properly. Okay, this is the cell membrane. So that's what you are going to do, okay, as your activity. So we have two activities only. The first one is you need to match the cell structure to the functions, and the second one, this one, draw and label the parts of this plant and animal cell. I hope that you can get all correctly, okay? So even though you have questions in mind, I know you can't ask me questions this time because it's just like modular. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll wait for your output before our class will resume again next week. Okay, I'm gonna send it to you through our line group, and then you try to see or try to study about this one and make the output, and then try to take a shot or a photo of it and then send it to me and I'll check it for you. Okay, thank you once again and have a good day. Bye bye.